How's it going, guys and girls? Welcome back to Icarus XP. My name is Callum X. In this video, I'm going to look through the talent tree for building a character who's going to be the dog's dangly bees when it comes to the desert biome. All right, so we are going for the desert biome. What talents would you use if you spent all your points solely to survive in the desert biome? Hopefully you find this video useful. If you do, make sure to subscribe for more and of course give it a thumbs up. Let me know in the comments what you would do differently, because this is a community. It's interesting to see what we all do differently. We all play this game differently. I really do find it fascinating. I do read the comments, so go leave a comment underneath. Now, it's important to know that I'm going to avoid the solo tree in this video. I'm not going anywhere near it. The solo tree is for when you're playing on your own, and I'm going to assume that this character you might not want to specifically play on your own. So the solo tree I'm not going to touch. This is all going to be based from the survival, construction, and combat tabs. So I'm going to clear that out right at the beginning. The reason I don't use the solo tree is because you can't use those perks when you're playing with friends. If you want to know all about the solo tree, I've done another video, did that this morning, so you can check that out on the channel. I'll link it up above. Anyway, so let's start on the survival tab and the resources. Now, this video is going to go through every single talent point you get up to level 40. As of making this video, you do not get any more talent points past level 40, only blueprint points. So as of making this, it is relevant. I am aware in 20 months' time, it might be different. Anyway, so let's start resources tab. So the resources talents I'm going to unlock for this character are 3. I'm going to put 3 points into the lumber yield because there aren't as many trees in the desert biome, but you use trees to make sticks, which you use to make arrows as well as making your base and other things. So lumber is important, but there are less trees. So 3 points into the lumber yield, and then you're going to get an extra 20% yield from fallen trees. The other point I'm going to put in first is into skilled picker. Again, because there are not as many resources on the floor, there's not as many plants that you can harvest to get fiber, etc. So that little 5% extra, it's only a small amount, but it's enough just to make a small dent at giving you some more resources to prepare with. All right. Once you've done these 4, you've then got 4 points unlocked, which means you can unlock this one. Now, this one's super important in the desert biome. We were discussing it on stream yesterday. The wood breakdown allows you to turn wood that you've harvested into sticks, and you get a load of sticks for it. It's brilliant. You need it to make arrows in the wood biome, the desert biome, or you're just gonna spend forever looking for sticks. In fact, you'll probably use more arrows killing things while you're looking for sticks than you will find while you're out and about. So wood breakdown is an absolutely genius and very well needed talent point to learn. And the other one that I'm going to put in this resources tab is all the good stuff, which means you receive a secondary resource from bushes, or you get a 10% chance to do so anyway, which is useful. You might get extra resources from harvesting the bushes, which you also get 5% extra from when you do. So those are the points that I'm going to put into the resources tab. Gonna click across now and look to exploration. We're still in survival, just into exploration tab. And as you can see, I put a few into this particular tab. So I'll go through each one. So I'm going to put 3 points into Robust Explorer, 50 extra health. I think is always a really good thing to have. Extra health is always good. It means less chance of dying. And in the desert biome, you're likely to travel quite far away from your main base to try and get resources. So that extra bit of health, that means the difference between dying and have to respawn or being able to regain your health again and go back on your own accord, is a big deal. So I would put 50 into max health. I'd put all 3 points into Swift Survivor as well. I think movement speed is incredibly important for surviving. If you couple this, for example, the 10% movement speed you get from this, if you also put 2 suit modules in, which give you 5 per module extra movement speed, you can really start to beef up your movement speed. Then you start to combine this with foods, and you find it a lot easier. So I put 3 points into Swift Survivor. That gives me the plus 10% movement speed. And actually, let's do this one. So water retention, 3 points into that as well, because you're in the desert biome. You're going to get hot quickly, and you're going to consume water faster. So that 25% less water consumption is, Obviously really important. Let's just reiterate before everyone gets angry. This character build is for the desert biome. I'm well aware you don't need this, for example, in the polar or whatever. All right. Anyway, on the right-hand side here, you'll see Storm Chaser. Now, this gives you 10% stamina regeneration during a storm. I wouldn't have bothered with this if I didn't need it to open up these underneath. All right, so I just want to clear that up first, but that's why I've only put 1 point into it. So 1 point into Storm Chaser does give you the bonus of that 10% extra stam regen during a storm, but I just had to use that to open up these. Now I've put 3 into Weathering the Storm, an extra 15% exposure resistance, because it just gives you that extra bit of time, should you need it, to find shelter, create shelter, go into a cave, get back to the base, whatever it is, that extra bit of resistance, I think is really important when you're in these very harsh biomes. So there we go with that one. I've then spent 2 points in the quick refresh, increased recovery from exposure. So 10% exposure recovery rate. That gets us there faster. The reason that I did this is because I needed to put the extra point in because I wanted this one, which is the Desert Master. Decreased thirst and movement speed in desert biomes. So you get more movement speed by 5%, which means this talent tree alone has given you an extra 15% movement speed and minus 25% water consumption while in the desert, which once you stack with the other one, means you now have 50% less water consumption in the desert. All right, so remember these stack, and you can stack them on top of each other. So that's my survival exploration tab. Moving on to hunting. So on the hunting tab, I haven't gone too crazy. I put 3 into Chase Them Down because this gives you plus 40 max stamina. Stamina is, again, super important, especially if you're being attacked by, say, 4 or 5 animals at the same time, which very often does happen in the desert. Then you will have that extra ability to fight back before you have to stand there and just let them eat you, which, let's face it, is what happens when you run out of stamina. So Chase Them Down, 3 points into that one. And we've also gone with Bone Collector. The reason I've done Bone Collector isn't because I necessarily think that more yield from bones is important, although it is useful. You're going to get a lot of bones in the desert because you're going to kill a lot of animals. So I don't think Bone Collector is particularly useful, but it opens up this tree underneath and was more useful, I thought, than increased movement speed while crouching, because of the fact at least I could use this for making bones. I don't tend to run around while I'm crouched. So again, this is me. Let me know in the comments what you feel. I then chose Quick Getaway, increased stamina regen after taking damage. Again, this is really good. You know, assume you get attacked by, say, 3 or 4 creatures all at the same time, and you're trying to fight them all off. If one of them gets a bite in on you, then your stamina is going to regen quicker, so you can fight them off quicker, so you can survive and get that suture kit plastered on you, or whatever it is that you need to do. Then I've gone with Without a Sound. Makes you harder to detect when you're in stealth. Again, only 5% because I really only wanted this one to open up the ones underneath, but that extra 5% perceived threat while stealthed is going to be useful. The reason that I wanted this one is because I wanted ghillie armor. Ghillie armor also helps with the heat, so it's going to help protect you with the heat, obviously, as well as giving you a little bit of extra stealth and giving you the it's armor, so it's obviously good for that too. So ghillie armor is good for the desert in most games, and this game is no different. I've then also gone with 1 point into Careful Skinner, which gives you more leather from skinning, because you do use the leather to make various things, which you'll need in the desert. And more importantly, this is what I wanted that to open up, which is why I've only got 1 point in it, is the Chase Them Down. Increase the base stamina by 40 once again. All right, so if you start stacking all these points up, guys, you can see how your character really does get strong. We're going to move on to cooking now, cooking and farming, where you will see I've only unlocked 1 point. I've only put 1 point into this because there's not a whole lot that you can find in the desert to be cooking and dealing with. Food's not particularly a big thing that you're going to be concentrating on if you're in the desert. So for cooking and farming, you'll see that I have gone with long-lasting effects. which I put 3 points into. So you get 20% extra duration on your food effect. So when you eat some cooked meat, it's going to give you the buff for 20% longer, which means you don't have to eat as often. And that's what I went with. All right. So that's the survival tab done. We've still got 2 more to go. I'm going to start with construction. I'm going to start with repairing, where you'll see that I didn't bother with any. Just straight up, didn't bother with any. So we'll move on from that one. Tools, again, didn't bother with. I've left them as they are. As you can see, I've spent all my talent points, but I didn't put any in tools. Again, I'm quite happy. Let me know if you've done anything differently. I'll be glad to hear it. And then we move on to building, where I have put some points in. Now, I do this on every character because I think this is particularly important, especially if you are someone who perhaps wants to drop down onto a prospect, get stuff done, and get the hell out of there. Or you perhaps spend more time in a wooden house than other people do. You don't have access to stone. You're a lower level. Either of these things are going to mean that these are important, and you're going to need to put points in all of these in order to open them. So first of all, you're going to need to put 2 points into discount wood. Not, again, because I necessarily wanted this perk, but because I needed to put the points in order to open this one. So discount wood, I put 2 points in. That's 25% resource cost for crafted wood building pieces, and then stone as well. Now this puts 4 points into this category, which gives me the next level, which, as you can see, allows me to open fortified wood, where I get 20% max durability of crafted wood buildings. So if you build a house out of wood, it has more durability. It's not going to break as fast in a windstorm, and therefore you're not going to have to repair it or risk losing your base as quickly or as often. I think super important. And then the last one is weatherproof cladding. Again, this is brilliant. Slower storm damage on wooden buildables. You got 25% wind resistance on crafted wood buildings, which in the desert is very, very useful, especially, like I said, early on, before you've gone down the route of stone, or if you're just getting in and getting out super quick. So those are the ones I've gone for on that one. And lastly, we're going to look at the combat tree. So in the combat tree, I'm going to start with bows. I use bows a lot because when I first played in the beta, I definitely was using a lot more spears. But since then, it's become very apparent that bows and firearms are particularly good in this game at getting rid of all your undesirables. So in the bows section of the combat talent tab, I have put 1 point into faster movement speed while holding a bow. So 5% movement speed extra while I've got the bow equipped. Again, if you stack those with the other 15% we got from the other talents, you end up with a super fast character, as well as, like I say, those 2 extra slots. I can't even remember what they're called now. Suit module slots. You can increase another 10 from that. So that one I have gone with, and we've got increased arrow damage. I have fully maxed out increased arrow damage 1, which will give an extra 10% damage with bows. And then over on the right-hand side, you'll see I've got quick load to 5% faster reloading of the bow itself. Those are the ones I've gone with. Spears, I have put nothing in. Blades, I have put nothing in. And firearms, I have put nothing in because, again, this is how I play it. Now, I'm super aware that everyone plays this game differently, and I'm really looking forward to seeing you guys and how you build a character based on the desert biome in particular for this video. So feel free to go check out the link for this particular tool. It's the ICARUS talent tool. I've done a whole video about it. And also what you can do is you can build a talent tree, shall we say, and then you can link it. So I look forward to seeing all of your links. If you're in the Discord, of course, you can post them in there. We have an ICARUS section in Discord. And I don't know if I've mentioned this already, but we are building a huge ICARUS community here. So if you want to get involved even more, don't forget to subscribe for more videos with the notification bell on so that you get notified as soon as the video comes out. And of course, don't forget to thumbs up and comment. I'm super stoked to see what you guys think of this. And hopefully I'll see you on one of our live streams very soon. I'm going to look at the other biomes very shortly, so stay tuned for that. Other than that, I'll speak to you in the next video, guys. Stay safe, don't die by the bears, and I'll speak to you soon. Bye-bye.